turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Black folks are nosy. They have specials. Nosy specials. Why does a bee make honey? You ain't a bee. Why do you give a fuck?
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
If he dies, he dies.
Has Charlamagne the God made a grave mistake and become a little bit too bold and arrogant by appearing in the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly in the era of Me Too, Time's Up, and now hashtag Surviving R. Kelly? Many men in the industry who have abused their powers for years and even decades are finding themselves to be sweating and concerned for the remainders of their careers. And because of that, many men have either capitulated or conceded in order to maintain and keep their careers. However, some men have not been so lucky. In fact, what has been taking place within the culture of Me Too, Time's Up, and now Surviving R. Kelly is the receipt checking that is ever so popular online, predominantly spearheaded by black women. And what many of these celebrities and corporations are finding out is that through a unified front, power can be acquired, especially in the space of black girl magic. And so now we have in this day of reckoning certain men within the industry who have had a notable track record for mistreating, abusing, and chastising black women publicly on all public platforms. Now they're seeking to change and basically attempting to survive in this era, which brings us to the likes of Charlamagne the God. Charlamagne the God, known for his trollish behavior and his antics that particularly rubbed black women the wrong way. Now he's looking to rebrand himself. While over the years sitting at the feet of the likes of Steve Mustache Harvey, Charlamagne the God had been looking to rebrand himself in hopes to have a career as long-lasting as the likes of Steve Harvey and even Tom Joyner. But in order to have the careers at the very least of Steve Harvey, some backyard cleaning would have to take place, especially in the space of your delivery, your jokes, how you speak about black women, how you speak about the culture, rap culture, and even changing your sense of humor. Gone are the days of Charlamagne sitting up under Wendy Williams. No longer what is needed is the overt 90s humor, reminiscent of the likes of Howard Stern and P.D. Green. Now we are in an era of Me Too, Time's Up. Charlamagne has now become an author, has published 2 books, both books landing on the bestseller, rebranded himself, even going as far as to giving himself Donkey of the Day for his participation in the rape culture. However, as fast as Charlamagne attempts to run from his past, it seems his past is running faster than he can. And because of that, certain elements and certain stories and specific individuals have fallen out of his closeted past. And with the likes of Jessica Reed and her mother, who both have accused Charlamagne of raping Jessica Reed when she was much younger, at 15. And what seems to be the rock in Charlamagne's shoe is the Jessica Reed story, because the story itself apparently is not going anywhere anytime soon, especially in this era of hashtag Me Too and hashtag Time's Up and now hashtag Surviving R. Kelly, which Charlamagne the God himself has attempted to celebrate those movements publicly, especially on the Breakfast Club platform. But what some listeners of the Breakfast Club find a bit interesting is the fact that they've basically gone virtually silent on the issue of the Jessica Reed story and the accusations of rape against Charlamagne the God, given the fact that the platform itself has discussed pretty much every aspect of everybody else's life. Fans find it quite interesting that the Breakfast Club remains silent. And even when addressing the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries, Charlamagne the God was notably absent that day when the Breakfast Club was accepting calls and discussing the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. Could it be that many of the handlers that have been observing what has been taking place on social media have been paying attention to the fact that Black Twitter specifically black women have been critical of the fact that Charlamagne the God was featured in a docuseries about surviving R. Kelly and the rape victims of R. Kelly, given the fact that Charlamagne the God has a possible rape victim accusing him of doing the same thing. And there was actually a few black women on Twitter who actually addressed the producer of the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, Dream Hampton. Dream Hampton simply responded that she was unaware of the accusations against Charlamagne the God and regrets placing him in the docuseries, which only gives validation to the concerns and criticism of many of the black women who had watched Surviving R. Kelly. So in an eager attempt to further the rebranding of himself, Charlamagne the God jumped a bit too early, prematurely, and placed himself in the docuseries of Surviving R. Kelly, and allowing himself to become an open target. Rather than being seen as a champion for rape victims, he actually had been seen as quite the opposite, someone of similar disgusting energy among the likes of R. Kelly, simply because of Charlamagne's history. Again, the rebranding of Charlamagne is very important, which is very key for his survival in the industry. Because of many of the atrocious things he has said publicly and also outlandish acts, particularly towards women, especially towards black women, Charlamagne, as they say in the Twitter streets, had already been on the radar. In his attempt to secure the bag in black girl magic space, Charlamagne may have shot himself in the foot. Now, old damaging tweets are resurfacing, showing that Charlamagne was very much so in support of the R. Kelly tapes. In fact, he referenced teen vagina as some sort of fountain of youth for R. Kelly, and because of the iffy industry of radio, Hot 97 and Power 105 have been locked in a heated competition for quite some time. But given the fact that a variety of personalities has been seen as more likable by way of the Breakfast Club, it is very important for them to try to hold on to Charlamagne the God, which is why protection has been forecasted for Charlamagne, with certain key topics specifically hovering around the discussion of rape. Charlamagne is notably missing. DJ Envy and Angela Yee do not necessarily have the personality to carry on the show if the likes of Charlamagne the God was to fall, which is why you see the industry shaking things up and trying to move him around for protection. One could even say maybe that's why he appeared in the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries and attempting to appear non-threatening, especially to black women, giving Charlamagne's notably chaotic history with his mouth and his actions in the space of black women. What is also equally interesting is some of his known associates, such as Angela Rye and also Amanda Seales, both vocal womanists who have stated on record they highly oppose a rape culture, misogyny, misogynoir, and any form of abuse against women and little girls, especially black women and black girls. And given the history that is now resurfacing, whatnot with the likes of Jessica Reed, and also the troubling tweets praising R. Kelly's performance, and also video footage resurfacing from his Brilliant Idiots podcast showing Charlamagne the God praising allegedly R. Kelly on those films raping and assaulting young black girls.
Number one, he taught me how to eat ass.
Shout out to Kelly.
I learned how to eat ass because of the R. Kelly tape.
That's true.
And the Come Pee Come thing is still one of the most
legendary,
incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I just, cause I still don't understand how a man could come and then pee right after coming and then come again. That happened.
Wait, that happened?
He busted a nut on this little 14-year-old girl. Then he peed on me like it was like the sperm came out, pee came out, sperm came out again. And he's told her, let it drip.
Liquid sandwich, bro.
I never seen no shit like that in my life, man.
Jesus.
Completely arbitrary and counter to the message that he forecasted during his appearance in the Surviving R. Kelly series. And many black women online are not only calling out the likes of R. Kelly, as they have done with Dream Hampton, of course she did apologize, but they are also calling out Angela Rye and Amanda Seales as well, and seeing, are they going to keep the same energy?